Hello everyone, welcome to YourPedia and this is Shubha. So this video is for all the ones who are targeting airport authority. Now you see that as I keep on mentioning that PYQs are very important. So similar way we have started with the series where I'm giving you a complete analysis of the PYQs. Till now we have discussed the PYQ, the examination that was conducted in February 2023, then December 2023 morning shift, and now in this video I'm going to give you a complete analysis of the second shift, that is afternoon shift of December 2023 examination. Now you see that make a thorough analysis of a PYQ not only by reading the question but also by going through the options available to us, because the options pop up as a question in the next examination. So this is a rule and this is something that you need to retain in your mind. The second important thing I would be telling you before I start with the discussion of the questions is that make sure that you are going through all the important topics which the PYQs are helping us to understand that yes, these are the favorite topics of ATC. Till now I have been repeatedly saying jumbled sentences, then comes in the form of vocabulary, they comprise of synonym, antonym, then is one word, idiom and phrases. The only change which I felt is idiom and phrases were important, the proverbs were important, but in 2023 they changed the pattern of asking it. Now they give 4 sentences and out of which you have to fit in that which of the proverbs fit with the best of the context of the sentences. So to understand the context of sentences, very important. They are not giving just an idiom and 4 options. That is not the way, that was in previous pattern. Now they have used a smart way of asking idiom and phrases. The third important rule which I am going to tell you right now is that whenever you are emphasizing it out, RCs also require your constant practice. They were on and off. Obviously, they were not asked in February 2023. The addition was made in December 2023. Previously to that, yes, they were added, they were removed from the, you can say, pattern of the testing you. But yes, the constant, you can say, the evaluation of yourselves based on RC is important. And I tell you, based on analysis, the paper completely was from easy to medium level. But if I compare the RC, which was asked in shift 1, shift 2, shift 3 was a little tougher if I compare it with shift 1 and shift 2. They were very easy, like I will be telling you, I will be showcasing you right now also. So basically these are some patterns. Tenses also you have to acquire yourself with the very perfection. Then comes your preposition and article portion. Obviously you have to go through with complete parts of speech, but these are some favorite topics which are asked by ATC. So make sure that you have a good hold on these. Last but not the least, the complete detailed video based on vocabulary, my marathon is there. You can watch that marathon if it is okay for you to just go through for 3 to 4 hours. It will be a complete, you have to sit and you have to listen to it. Not only every day I will be saying you just listen it 10 to 15 minutes every day and make it a habit that yes, I have to learn so many words of vocabulary. Like maybe you just fix it out 20 words, 15 words of vocabulary and they are going to help you in your paper. The second, spotting errors also, a complete video is there where all 101 important rules of English are there. You can watch out that video also. The videos are available on panel and if you are not able to find it out, you can pop up in the comment section and those videos are actually very helpful in your preparation and I am very much assuring because all the questions of tenses, vocabulary will be comprising from those videos only. You don't need to go anywhere else like any of the books and all that. You don't need to fetch anything else apart from that. Now let's get started. What were the questions which were asked in afternoon 2023? Solve it with me and make your own score. The very first question which was asked is related to the antonym vocabulary portion. The chairperson omitted mentioning some important names in his speech. What does omission means? That is, you are removing it out, you are leaving it out, you are excluding it out, right? So that is the meaning of omission. So it has a negative meaning. And what I have to find antonym, that means the opposite of omitted. Deleting is also when you are removing that thing. Receding is when you are moving away, you are going back. Move away is a mean of receding. Adding is when you are in addition to something, you are increasing the quantity of something, right? And then comes the last word, that is subsided. You know, like what is subsided? It is basically something that becomes less intense. You have heard the word abate. Abate is decreasing, like something you took the Saradon and the headache abated, the winds abated, the storm abated. That is, it lessened its intensity. That is the meaning of abate. So basically we had the 4 ones. Omitted means excluding. So oppositely we need to have some meaning that is opposite to it. So omitted ka meaning opposite kya aa jayega? That is, you are increasing the quantity, so it would be adding, right? So very first is the B option over there. So So omit is that the opposite is you're including, you're adding, you're inserting, you're entering over there. The second question is you have to find the proverb that fits the best in the context of the sentence. Now see, this is a pattern change which they have done in the case of idioms. She may want to argue. This is something that is constant, right, in fall. Now where they have started is, but it takes two to tango, blood thicker than water, practice to preach, easy come easy go. At the last also I want stoop to her level. Now see, they are saying she may want to argue but it takes two to tango and I want stoop to her level. मैं उसके level तक नहीं गिरूंगी, मैं उसका शायद argue करने का दिल भी हो. अब आपको ये चारों idioms के meaning समझना जरूरी है, because we hope that maybe these things can come as a question also in your this time examination. Now two to tango means when both of them, you can say the both parties are responsible. अगर कोई लड़ाई होनी है, so it is like both the parties need to be together, need to be acting something. So obviously this is two to tango means when both parties are responsible. Like you cannot clap with only a single hand, right? You don't tell me that, ma'am, I just put the hand on the table and I can clap. No, it is basically the involvement of two parties is essential. If it is about the fight also, if it is to enjoy also, anything, right? So two to tango, that both parties involvement is needed. Next is, that is your blood is thicker than water. So obviously the family or the bond relations are very, very stronger. Practice to preach is to behave, like it is particularly to behave as others feel. And easy come easy go is like relation that is required, like efforts, you pay less efforts to maintain it out, right? So that is the way you are to read it out. Always make an analysis ki iska answer ab kya aayega. Just think about it. What will be the answer? I hope we are clear with all four. Two to tango, दोनों की responsibilities है. Then it is blood thicker than water. Family relations बहुत important है. Practice to preach, as someone says, you're following it out. Easy come easy go. Suppose आपकी life में कोई relation आपने ज़्यादा efforts नहीं किए, it added in your life, and you don't know how it went also away from you, so you do not feel much of the regret. So easy come and easy go, right? So these are the four words. Now it is about the argue, that is about the ladai, argument. So obviously it will be two to tango. This would be the fit in one. So A is the right option over here. Third is again synonym. You have to find, that is vocabulary based. Select the most appropriate synonym of the underlined word. The village by the sea is home to attractive shops and restaurants. So attractive comes as a positive word. Solve it on your own till now. I hope you find the answer also. So attractive is something that is good looking, right? Something that is pleasing to senses. Good is also something that is fine. Awful is something that is very bad. Admirable, that is something deserving respect. Commendable and alluring, again what it will be, that is something that is very powerful and mysterious, right? So what will be the answer now? Think about it. The village by the sea is home to attractive shops and restaurants. Good shops? No. Awful? Negative terminology. Positive. Admirable? Positive. Alluring? Positive. Now basically you have to find the opposite, that synonym of attractive. First you need to understand what is attractive, right? Attractive is something that you really like, right? Something that is appreciable, something that is pleasing to the mind, right? So here the opposites will be unattractive, ugly, repulsive, okay? All these will be coming as an opposite, this thing, right? So basically it will be something that is alluring in nature, okay? Because alluring also means something that is very mysterious and attractive in nature. So D would be the right one. Let's go with the next one. Fourth is select the grammatically correct sentences. Now they have error spotting नहीं किया, उन्होंने 4 options दे दिए, correction बताने आपको, tenses के basis पे ही है particularly. Thousands of tourists view the Taj Mahal every year. Okay. Thousands of tourists are viewing the Taj Mahal. It is never in the current. ये तो गलत ही हो गया, because I told you INGs are the least. You always have to go with simple present because it's a every year statement, like a constant thing that is done. So obviously every year will not become will require a simple present statement. Thousands of tourists view the Taj Mahal every year. Yes, they view. It's a simple one. Thousands of tourists viewed every year. तो viewed और every year इकट्ठा नहीं आ सकता. This cannot be there. Thousands of tourists views. It's a wrong one. So only the right is C option. Thousands of tourists view Taj Mahal every year, and it has D also because article is required. It's a fixed, or you can say determining. Next, what is entrepreneur? You need to understand, like here we are being given the spelling one. Spelling one also comes as an on and off in ATC examination. Entrepreneur is the right terminology that we speak it out. You might have seen Shark Tank India and all that. So here this terminology is used where a person who starts a business. It's a person who starts a business, often taken by financial risk. They're often seen as innovators who identify the gaps in market, and they start with creating new products in the market. How you speak it out? Entrepreneur. That is E-N-T-R-E-P-R-E-N-E-U-R. Entrepreneur is the right word of it. Next you have is the most appropriate adverb to fill in the blank. No one has dash been to Mars. No one has ever been to Mars. No one has seldom been to Mars. No one has sometimes been to Mars and never been to Mars. So never is at no time. No and no cannot be together. Never cannot be the right word. Sometimes means occasionally. Seldom means rarely. Ever means in any form. So basically what fits the best is no one has ever been to Mars, right? So A is the right option. Next we have the comprehension, and I'll be reading it with you. I'll be explaining you a bit about it, and what you can do is you can pause the video, you can try to solve the questions literate on your own. Among those things that men has devised to acquire knowledge or seek inner delight with, language plays an important role. अब language जो है बहुत important role play करती है, चाहे हमने knowledge को gain करना हो, चाहे हमें कुछ inner delight हमने आपको express करना हो, तो भी language बहुत important medium है conversation का. It is a vehicle for literature, science and philosophy. कोई भी चीज़ है, literature है, express कैसे कर पा रहे हो? कम्युनिकेट करके अपनी लैंग्वेज के थ्रू ही एक्सप्रेस कर पा रहे हो. साइंस है, फिलॉसफी है, हर एक पे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. लिटरेचर सर्टनली प्रोवाइड्स मैन इनर डिलाइट, बट इट्स अ फील्ड ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन इज लिमिटेड. लिटरेचर बहुत ज़्यादा डिलाइट प्रोवाइड करती है. लाइक पीपल लव टू रीड द नॉवेल्स एंड ऑल दैट बिकॉज दे फाइंड अ फैसिनेशन टुवर्ड्स इट, बट इट फील्ड ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन इज लिमिटेड. लेकिन एक्सप्रेसिव बहुत कम हो जाते हैं. आर्ट, म्यूजिक एंड डांस and the like make up for this. अब art is a form of expression, music, dance. Whenever you are angry, when you are happy, you try to dance or you try to express it through your music, your grief. तो ये आया जो form of expressions है. They have their own specialities of expression as literature has its. जैसे literature के expression है, जैसे literature हम बहुत important मानते हैं, शायद हम art, music, dance को उतना important नहीं मानते हैं. So they are trying to say is उनकी अपनी specialities हैं art, music और dance की, जैसे literature के भी हैं. Man apprehends the world with his mind and senses, derives aesthetic delight and communicates this to others. अब man क्या कर रहा है? Apprehensions कर रहा है. He tries to expectations, predicts it out, कि with his mind and senses he tries to understand. और literature को भी इस तरह से ही समझता है and उसमें ही वो delight find करता है और communication भी करता है लोगों से. Education in the arts heightens man's knowledge and aesthetic experience and trains him in various modes of education expression. Educate होते हैं जब हम, तो हम expressions का, art को समझने का बहुत हमारा mind evolve हो जाता है और हमें aesthetic experience, हम वो चीज़ें train होती है हमारे अंदर. This education in art, music and dance cannot be achieved through reading and writing. Like the ear cannot do what the eye has to. नो बेसिकली आर्ट, म्यूजिक और डांस को सिर्फ लिटरेचर पढ़ के या लिख के नहीं सीखा जा सकता फॉर श्योर. जैसे जो ईयर्स का काम है वो कभी आइस नहीं कर सकती है. तो मतलब हर एक का अपना रोल है. एजुकेशन में आर्ट, म्यूजिक, डांस का अपना रोल है. लिटरेचर आ गया या लैंग्वेज आ गया या साइंस आ गया, फिलोसफी आ गया, इनका अपना रोल आ जाता है. If the objective of our education is total development, art training should have the same status and importance as reading and writing. अगर हम कहते हैं कि एजुकेशन टोटल डेवलपमेंट को सीख करती है, तो आर्ट की ट्रेनिंग होना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है जितनी इंपॉर्टेंस हम रीडिंग और राइटिंग को देते हैं. लेकिन ये प्रोविजन आर यूनिवर्सिटीज मेक दिस ओनली फॉर सोरली इनएडिक्वेट एट प्रेजेंट. लेकिन आज भी हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में आर्ट, म्यूजिक, डांस को बहुत ज़्यादा हम नहीं बहुत एम्फसाइज करते हैं. This is due to the general notion that art is exclusive preserve of a few professionals and common people have nothing to do with. क्योंकि हम सोचते हैं कि आर्ट जो फॉर्म है ना, ये कुछ प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए होती है, बस वो प्रोफेशनल्स कर रहे हैं, का एक आम इंसान को आर्ट से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. When the educated do not feel any sense of shame at understanding art. कई बार हम म्यूजियम में जाते हैं, कई बार कोई बहुत अच्छी सीनरीज होती हैं and they have an abstract meaning. We see and we feel it, और नहीं हमें समझ नहीं आया, and we are not shameful for that कि नहीं समझ आया तो it is all fine, because even an educated man does not feel like any shame in expressing that I don't understand the art. दिस इज द रियलिटी. व्हाट क्वेश्चन कैन बी देयर ऑफ कॉमनर्स? तो फिर कॉमन पर्सन जिसने आज तक नहीं कुछ, ही इज नॉट एम्फोसाइज्ड इवन, वो कैसे इस चीज को वैल्यू करेगा? तो बेसिकली दे आर ट्राइंग टू शो गई आर्ट, लैंग्वेज, आर्ट, साइंस, फिलोसफी, लिटरेचर, इन सब की वैल्यू बहुत है. म्यूजिक, डांस, एवरीथिंग हैज अ वैल्यू. आपको डिफरेंशिएट करना आना चाहिए, आपको उनको भी सीखना चाहिए. So this is something we actually have, just a bit of the things, the crux we found. Identify the theme of the given passage. Importance of language and literature. Importance of art educational on with routine subjects. Art education as a domain of professionals. Dance, music and painting as an integral form of forms. तो बेसिकली लैंग्वेज और लिटरेचर को तो हम नहीं इंपॉर्टेंस दे रहे हैं, हम दे रहे हैं आर्ट एजुकेशन ऑन विद रूटीन सब्जेक्ट्स. बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स के साथ आर्ट को भी ऐड करना चाहिए, जो अभी प्रोविजंस यूनिवर्सिटीज में नहीं है. 7th का बी आ गया. लेट्स गो विद द 8th वन. According to the author, what provisions should have been made in education system? एजुकेशन सिस्टम में क्या किया जाए कि होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट, मतलब होलिस्टिक क्या होता है? ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट हो पाए स्टूडेंट्स की. आर्ट ट्रेनिंग शुड हैव द सेम स्टेटस एंड इंपॉर्टेंस एज रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग. ये तो लिखा भी हुआ था, एंड वी थिंक दिस कैन बी अ क्लोज आंसर. आर्ट ट्रेनिंग शुड बी गिवन थ्रू एक्सरसाइज ऑफ रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग. नहीं, सेम तो नहीं होना चाहिए क्राइटेरिया. आर्ट ट्रेनिंग शुड बी गिवन टू प्रोफेशनल सीकिंग एक्सपर्टाइज. लिटरेचर, साइंस एंड फिलोसफी शुड बी टॉट थ्रू आर्ट एजुकेशन. तो वेरी फर्स्ट इज द राइट वन. आर्ट ट्रेनिंग शुड हैव द सेम स्टेटस एंड इंपॉर्टेंस as reading and writing. Let's go with the third one. Why do the educated not feel any sense of shame at not understanding art? क्या educated क्यों नहीं sense of shame feel करता है जब उसको art को understand करना होता है? Because they carry the notion that art is an exclusive preserve of few professionals. Because it is assumed that our education as an art is not for commoners. Because they are not trained to understand and appreciate art. Because they feel that education as an art can be gained through reading and writing. Which is why to educated not feel any sense of shame, क्योंकि हमें वो सिखाया ही नहीं गया है कि हम अंडरस्टैंड कर पाए आर्ट को. तो दैट वुड बी द आंसर, वुड बी द सी ऑप्शन. द लास्ट आई थिंक वी हैव इज द 9 क्वेश्चंस वर देयर ओवर देयर. One more. Art is exclusive preserve of few professionals and common people have nothing to do with it. Identify the most important synonym of the underlined word. That is preserve. प्रिजर्व करना क्या होता है? मेंटेन करना, कंजर्व करना ओरिजिनल स्टेट में. जैसे वोकेशन होता है, कोई मिशन, कोई फंक्शन, कोई भी एक स्ट्रॉन्ग आपकी एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी से रिलेटेड आपका प्रोफेशन वाइज आ जाता है. रेल्म हो जाता है, किंगडम आ गया. प्रोफेशन क्या हो जाता है आपका? दैट इज पेड ऑक्यूपेशन. एंड क्राफ्ट होता है कनिंगनेस. सो बेसिकली इट इज आर्ट एज मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट सिनोनिम. प्रिजर्व का क्या आ जाएगा? ये तो आपके कोर्सेज से आ गया, प्रोफेशन आ गया, क्राफ्ट आ गया. दैट इज रेल्म. इट्स अ रूल, इट्स एन एक्सक्लूसिव dash of few professions. It's a exclusive kingdom of certain professionals and common people have nothing to do with it. So C is the right one. Let's go with the next one, that is again as vocabulary based. The minister expressed his concern and sympathy for the flood victims. Sympathy क्या होता है? That is when you are feeling pity for that person. And what you have to identify? Opposite. That is, it's a positive term. You have to identify the negative of that. Interest होता है किसी चीज में आपको क्या है? That is, you are feeling for that thing, right? You are able to know that thing. You are attentive to that thing. Pity is the sorrow or the grief you have, regret you have. Apathy is when you are not interested in anything, right? You have lack of enthusiasm or energy in that thing. And difference is when you have contrast in that thing. So 4 options I try to make you visualize. Sympathy, positive word, you have to find the opposite. That is, you are caring for someone. The opposite will be where you are not bothered, you don't care about the other person. So what will be the closer antonym? It will be apathy. That is, you're indifferent, you're cruel to that person. B option. Here I've already mentioned you, the sympathies are indifference, cruelty, like you're indifferent, you're merciless, you have hatred, you have apathy. So all these things come in the opposites of sympathy. Next is you have to find the appropriate option to fill in the blank. Dash have been a seafaring people for many centuries, right? So what have been the seafaring people for many centuries? English, the English, an English or a English. The difference between English and the English is English only is used as a language. Like I love English language, so that means I'm talking about English. English is my favorite language. But when I call the English are associated with the people who are belonging to the English countries, the Punjabi, the Hindu, the Hindi. So it would be particularly the people over that country or the state ones. So that is why I use the with the language, right? So it is, you have to understand, these all are there in the rules which I was talking about at the very start. Here the rules were mentioned, that what is the difference between a language when we use, you can say when we omit an article and we use English, Hindi, anything, that is for the language. But when we put the with them, the French, the English, we are talking about the community of people over there, right? So the answer is A1. Then is again the proverb you need to understand. The proverbs were repeated like in shift 1, shift 2, shift 3, the proverbs are quite in repetition now. Owing to the want of well-framed agenda, same way they are asking, they are fixing one of the liner and rest. The members were made to pay through their nose during the meeting, so that is to pay high prices. Members saw red means they were angry. The members beat around the bush like they were talking about the irrelevant things during the meeting. And you are to say the members were led down the path, that is they were deceived, they were cheated, right? So it is owing to the want of the well-framed agendas. When you are talking about something, it's a meeting, obviously you are digressing from that meeting in an obvious case. So it would be beat around the bush, that is the C option. Again I repeat, were made pay through the nose. The nose means pay higher than the average value was there, more than the fair price. Saw red, that means very disturbed, very angry. Beat around the bush, that is, beat around the bush means that is particularly, you would be calling out, you are talking irrelevant things, you are not coming to the crux of the pointer, and it is let down, you are deceived or cheated. Select the most appropriate option to fill in the blank. In that field is very green. So the grass in that field is very green, a grass, grasses or the grasses. So an easy one, the grass, because you are talking about the particular grass, that this grass in the field is very green. A option. Again you have to choose with the word that is correcting with the spelt, that is privilege, right? So what is privilege? Privilege is some kind of an advantage. So it's like special advantage, by and divisible, like you are gaining it since a birth and all that. So we talk about the nepotism, that they have a privilege to enter in the industrial sector. If someone is born in a privileged society, advantageous society, he is he's having a good lifestyle, so that is a person is privileged. So P-R-I-V-L-E-G-E, V-I-L-E-G-E. What option fits the best? I think it will be the C option, P-R-I-V-I-L-E-G-E, right? C. Next we have the jumbled one. Jumbled are the favorite. They have never skipped jumbled till now in all the papers till now of ATC has been conducted. So this is 2015, I would say. Now again pause the video, try to solve it on your own, what comes in the form of jumbled sentences, and I'll be helping you out in it, right? The very first we see is, I cannot help, I was awestruck, it is interesting, I looked at the toy station, the boys section. Now I is in very repetition word. It is interesting to me that how the world, okay. So we need to read it out because all are giving us a sense of, it is a pronoun, I are the subjects, the boy is also subject. The boys section had outfits in vibrant shades of blue because I thought blue would be adorable, but we have not introduced with anything. I looked at the toy section, which was also arranged by gender. Toys for boys are mostly active. Now here toys came the very first before they have introduced, right? So this could be there, the toys for boys are mostly active and involve some sort of doing trains, cars and all that, and for girls, okay, dolls. It is interesting to me how the world starts to invest in gender roles. Here they have introduced the gender, guys. Till now there was no gender roles. So it would be coming after, C would be coming after D for sure. Okay, I was struck by this. I quite like how society starts to reinvent ideas of what boys should do and what girls should do. Boy and girls. So idea, I cannot help but wonder a clever marketing who person is pink, blue, binary. Okay, so idea is evolving of the gender from the D one. So D will be coming, sorry, C1 is coming, because here only they are talking about to how the word gender roles, how the early word starts in gender roles. Here they are talking about the boys, here they are talking about the sectional, here also they are talking about this thing and about blue binary. So very first it will be about the gender roles. This is the highlight. So C will be the starting, so this option gets removed. Okay, so it is interesting to me to know how early the world starts to invest in rose. Yesterday I went to children's shop to buy Shaiza Loam an outfit. In girls section were pale creations and washed out sets of pink. I disliked them. Now it is about the girls till now, right? He disliked them. So what will be coming? After girls, it will be introduction of boys section, because here they are talking about the two, here the boys section. So it will be coming after C, E will come. So after C, E will be coming, and after E, the boys section I bought one, and after buying one, then it would be about the blue pink binary market. Okay, so it would be CEA. Identify which option has CEA. It would be the C. Rest you do not need to even solve it out. So it is CEA is the right way, because whenever C you are going with a jumbled, you identify the first thing is noun. If you are able to see that there are lots of nouns and every sentence has a noun, think where the idea of introduction of two things is given. Like if two things are introduced, at the very start there should be a general idea, like here gender roles. At the very start it was gender roles, then it was blue, pink and everything was explained. So at the very start find the initiation. So that is why we started with C option. Okay, let's go with 17. It is select the most appropriate pronoun to fill in the blank. Revathi wrote 2 books during her younger days. One of dash became a good bestseller. So it is one of them. It is based on pronoun. C option. Select the grammatical correct option. Each one of us has some work experience. Each one of has someone experience, is having, has have, had. Right. So obviously I think now you will be decoding that having will never be an option. Have had can never be a question. Each one of us has some work. Again the rules which have been listed in spotting errors. This thing is mentioned. B comes as the right one. Identify the option in which idiom correctly fits the context of the given statement. I had spent 2 months worrying about it and I was glad to show the ropes. I had spent 2 months worrying about it and I was glad to get it off my chest. Turn a new leaf and to pay through the nose. Pay through the nose, we already know that is to pay a heavy price of it, right? To turn a new leaf, even we know that it is to start in a more you can say acceptable manner. Like now you will be working as accepted by the society. To get off my chest, that is to confess, you express, you share your thought. And to show off the ropes, to introduce someone, that is the basics or the practical aspects of the job. That is there. Now I spent 2 months worrying about it and I was glad. Are you glad of what? For the listening, for relieving yourself. So B will be the right option, where you are just revealing all your tensions, you are confessing, you are guilt free. So it would be to get off my chest. So it would be to confessing, sharing or expressing. When you share, you lessen your worries and you're glad that you did that. The last, again you have the jumbled one. Okay, good to go. Same way, pause the video, try to solve where the two ideas or where a single thing that is being evolved. So basically the unique features of temple is Krishna. Okay, it cannot be the introduction one. Jagannath means, yeah, that is something that is giving us a huge, you can say, emphasize that I am the one that's starting. The image is he is God. C would be the right starting. So B would be decoded and cancelled and D would be cancelled for sure. So here we are starting with Jagannath means Lord of World and is form of Hindu gods Krishna, Vishnu worshipped in Odisha. Locally Jagannath is called Kalya for its black color with great affection, although modern color prejudice makes many instinct that Krishna is actually blue. Okay, so C would be the first one. Then it would be about Jagannath, where it is mentioned it is about the temple, no, about the god. So about the god, they are made of stone and dust. About the images of malfunction, he is God. So it will be C, and then about the God only we are talking. So he, after C, E will be there. It is directly in the B part, guys. So you don't need to solve rest even. So all is you identified the noun. After that, what is the same thing that is talking about it? Only in E, it is being talked. So that would be coming as a second statement. So jumble require your practice and little smartness to resolve it out, to solve the questions very fast. So I hope these all the things are clear to you and you had an extensive, you can say, ideas at how you need to prepare for your ATC examination. So I hope that this video helps, and in case of any doubts, you can pop up in the comment section. If you have skipped the previous PYQs, they are very important for you. Just go and watch the videos. They will be helping out how to solve the questions, how to retain the words, and how to practice more and more to score good. All the best, guys. Keep working hard, and if you have any query, just pop up in the comment section. Take care and have a good day.